always witty, always a good conversationalist. But he wasn't nipping around the back for a cigarette, which he often does. But that's Luis Maron. He is now working for ICAP back in Havana. He loves his homeland. He enjoyed his time here, but he's going to speak a little bit about the solidarity work that he has been involved with in this country. Following that, we've got Dr. Aleida Guevara, who is going to speak on many themes of solidarity, the medical work that Cuba does overseas. She will speak against the blockade that has been imposed for now 50 years against their country. And of course, I'm sure she will mention the Cuban Five, or the Miami Five, as some people know them, those 5 heroes of Cuba who were sent by their government to find out about terrorist attacks emanating from Miami, gave that information to the American authorities about imminent attacks on her country, and have been imprisoned without a fair trial in the United States ever since. So she will no doubt speak of that. Then we'll have the questions, and then we've got Massy Mass, who are appropriate here because they're a brilliant band, but not only that, Richard does a lot of work in Cuba. He teaches in Cuba. He has people who come over from Cuba and stay with him, and it's only entirely fitting that when we get to the social part of the event that they should be that they should play for us. I will say this now, and I will say this at the end as well. This event has cost us money to organise, as you can appreciate. The band itself obviously need to be paid. They're doing it for a discount, of course, because they're in solidarity also with Cuba. But I would ask people to give as generously as they possibly can. And we have people with buckets who will no doubt harangue you on that basis. But you don't want to hear me prattling on all night, do you? So no.
Book signing. Mention the book.
Oh yes, I forgot. We are promoting a book as well tonight. Aleida Guevara's Mama Aleida March wrote a book on and we've got the books here. Aleida is quite happy to sign them for you if people want to buy them. I think what cost are they today? £10? £10. Okay. If you're down at Waterstones, they're 13, so you're getting a bargain. Anyway, without any further ado, I want to pass the floor to Luis Maron.
Thank you. Okay, comrades, this is entrapment. Okay? I was told I was supposed to come with Aleida to help her understand interpretation and so on. And it was only when I arrived in Nottingham that when I arrived here, that I heard I had to say a few words myself. You're all here to listen to Aleida, not to listen to Luis Maron. But I wouldn't, in a lifetime, miss this opportunity to say how delighted I am to be back in Nottingham. It's about 12 years since I had not been in this city. I've been passing through Nottingham on my way to Sheffield, on my way to the north, Newcastle, whatever, and I never had a chance to stop in Nottingham. So I'm twice as happy to be here again. Yes, I have dedicated the last maybe 16 years of my life to be your man in Havana. I work in Cuba in an institution, it's a social, cultural, political institution that helps foster bridges with friends of Cuba all over the world, promote exchanges, political, cultural, sports exchanges, and I've been responsible for what I say the British desk in this institution. So I've been coming to this country quite often in the last 16 years, and for the last 4 years. I went back to Cuba in 2011. From 2007 to 2011, I was permanently posted in the Cuban embassy in London. I was the deputy ambassador and political counselor. I've been a witness to the growth, a massive growth in the Cuba Solidarity Campaign. And not only of the Cuba Solidarity Campaign as an organization, but a massive growth in solidarity with Cuba. From trade unions, from people who are involved in left-wing progressive political organizations, parties, whichever way they call themselves, who have come forward, I mean, to express solidarity with Cuba for reasons that you will listen to from Aleida. I'm not going to elaborate about Cuba. I don't want to consume too much of our time, because it's Aleida Guevara, Dr. Aleida Guevara, you want to listen to. But I wanted to say a warm thank you. I mean, each and every one of you who has contributed anything in solidarity with my country in the last 20 years, you have my words of appreciation. For those of you who are not yet involved, I would say it's never too late to correct that mistake. I mean, there is this organization, the Cuba Solidarity Campaign. Nottingham has a local group. Please affiliate yourselves to this organization. If you think we deserve your support, I think that's the best way you can express it. That's the best way you can give your support to Cuba. And also a commercial. I know the times we're living all over the world are difficult. I mean, financially speaking, economically speaking, we have less money in our pockets these days. But if you're going to travel abroad, if you're going to holiday abroad, do not go to Benidorm. Go to Cuba. Go to Cuba. Come to Cuba. You will see a country which it's probably neither worse. I mean, it's neither better nor worse than many of the things you see in the world today. But I guarantee to you that you will see something which is completely different. I mean, Cuba raises many passions, for and against. And it doesn't matter how much you hear about anything, unless you see it, unless you touch it, unless you feel it, which is the most important thing, it will be hard to believe in its totality. We've done amazing things in Cuba in the last 52 years. I'm sure Aleida is going to refer to them. We've made mistakes. We have problems, but who doesn't have problems in this world today? We have the hostility of a powerful enemy. For 52 years, it's not something new. And we've endured all these 50 years, resisting, fighting, trying to move forward with the socialist project. So I would say, join the Cuba Solidarity Campaign, come forward. If you are members of trade unions, get your local or your regional unions affiliated if they are not affiliated to the Cuba Solidarity Campaign, and as individuals, do the same thing. Join this movement. I think the Cuban people will always appreciate the efforts that you make. I mean, you dedicate, many of you, a lot of effort, a lot of resources, a lot of time to express your support for my country, and we will never, ever forget that support. I wouldn't like to finish before telling you first that when we see what is going on in the world in terms of solidarity with Cuba, we feel very proud for the work that has been done in this country. I mean, bringing trade unions on board, bringing so many people on board this struggle, and in particular demanding the lifting of the US blockade of Cuba and demanding the release of the Cuban Five. I'm not going to tell you about the Cuban Five. Aleida, I'm sure, is going to refer to them. So this is all I wanted to say. Finish with a big thank you, and telling you again how delighted I am to be back in Nottingham. I have not seen, mind you, the statue of Robin Hood in all these years. We went there today, and I was looking for Lady Marian, but I couldn't find her. Thank you very much, guys, for coming here tonight.
We've got some more in the low down in that area. Okay. Okay, more people, if they can move over to the other side, we'll take them to the
to that space. I'm sure people